So many battles waged over the years. And yet, none of them like this.
Well, we were not outlaws, but DC was the respectable uptown outfit, even though back then we were on Madison and 57th. And it was cool, but we all figured we were on our way out.
Mutants. We now find ourselves on the edge of extinction. You'll need to go into the past to end this war before it ever begins.
We just come off of our mega arc, which was the death of Dark Phoenix. And we just done the unimaginable at the time by killing off Jean Grey. How anyone could do that and get away with it and leave it as something that would not be altered was unheard of at the time. The cool thing about the X-Men was that because there was no internet, we could catch people by surprise, which is what 137 did. No one saw the death of Jean coming, not the least of which the creators. And part of our attitude was, we've just done this one unforgivable thing. How could we top it? What could we do that would be even more dramatic, more horrific, more cool?
Let's go!
So, as John and I were wont to do, we would just get on the phone and shoot ideas back and forth and ideally come up with a concept, piss each other off, shuffle things together. It would work, it would not work. We'd find the story we wanted to tell. John had this idea, taking the youngest, newest member of the team, Kitty Pryde, and making her the focal point, but from a perspective that allowed us to show her not simply as a 13-year-old neophyte, but as a grown-up, as experienced, and to give the X-Men a vision of what their future looked like. And it's not a happy ending.
There is a new enemy out there. You'll need a new weapon for this war.
The dystopic future, it appealed to me in the sense that the Sentinels have always been the X-Men's ultimate adversary. It's the one implacable force that they've ever come up against. Magneto you can reason with, and indeed over the course of the next 10 years, I did reason with him and he did evolve. Sentinels don't evolve. They get better at killing mutants. The interesting irony was that the first story I gave an assistance to as a young punk when I was still in university was a Sentinels arc that Roy Thomas did in The Avengers, where casting them into the sun was kind of my idea, or them going off into the sun. And then 2 years later I pitched an idea where they came back. So the hope was, how can we do a story that shows the Sentinels in all their malevolent glory and the X-Men? And one thing we kind of came back to and I kind of bonded with was the idea that, what if the Sentinels win?
All those years wasted fighting each other, Charles.
I've watched a lot of people die. Friends.
The circumstances you have in the original Days of Future Past is the world is on the brink of global thermonuclear war. And here are the X-Men fighting for the last stand with the survivors of what's left of the Avengers, the FF, all of the other superheroes in the Marvel Universe been wiped out by the Sentinels. And the question is raised to Charlie, to Xavier. Do we know we made a difference? And Xavier says, the problem is we'll only know when we get there. And when we get there, if we're wrong and we haven't made things better, it's too late. So his attitude is, we have to start working now to make sure that doesn't happen, to help build a better world.
We've been given a second chance.